When you're thinking about adding a dash cam to your car, the first thing that comes to mind is usually the fear of picking something that looks great on paper but ends up gathering dust because it either misses the important moments or becomes a headache to manage. I get that hesitation. You're spending money on a device that's supposed to be there when you need it most, and you want to be sure it actually delivers on the promises of clear video, reliable storage, and easy setup. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. In this review, I'll walk through the everyday situations where the Vantrue E1 Pro either shines or falls short, so you can decide whether it's the right fit for your driving habits and budget. Let's start with the kind of driving most of us do. A mix of city traffic, occasional highway stretches, and the inevitable parking spots where you leave the car unattended for a few hours. The E1 Pro is a tiny unit that mounts right behind the rearview mirror, which makes it almost invisible to thieves, but also means you have to reach a little higher to plug it in. The installation is straightforward, a magnetic mount and a short power lead that can be tucked under the dash. For anyone who's never installed a dash cam before, that simplicity is a real confidence boost, and the 18-month warranty gives a bit of safety if something goes wrong early on. One of the biggest concerns people have is nighttime footage. A lot of dash cams claim night vision, but the video looks washed out or grainy when you actually need it to capture a sudden incident on a dimly lit street. The E1 Pro uses Vantrue's STARVIS 2 sensor paired with PlatePix technology, which essentially means the sensor is more sensitive to low light, and the software tries to keep license plates readable. In my own evening commute through a poorly lit suburb, the camera managed to produce footage where the road markings and the rear ends of other cars were still distinguishable, and the plates of a vehicle that clipped the bumper were legible enough to be useful for a police report. That's a step up from many entry-level dash cams that end up producing a black blob at night. On the flip side, the night performance isn't perfect in every scenario. When I drove through a tunnel with the lights flickering on and off, the video showed occasional frame drops and the brightness spiked in the sections where the lights turned on. If you often travel through tunnels or poorly lit rural roads, you might still have to rely on the fact that you have some footage rather than crystal clear details. It's a practical weakness, but one that's understandable given the size constraints of a mini-cam. You can't fit a giant sensor in that little housing. Storage is another area where the E1 Pro tries to be generous. It supports up to a 1 terabyte micro SD card, which translates to weeks of footage at 4K resolution if you set the loop to overwrite older files. The 24/7 buffered parking mode means that even when the car is off, the cam keeps a short buffer of the last few minutes and saves it if it detects motion or an impact. I tested this by parking my car in a busy shopping center, stepping away for half an hour, and then coming back to find a shopping cart had nudged the rear bumper. The cam recorded the moment of impact and the few seconds before, giving me a clear view of the culprit's direction. For anyone who worries about hit-and-run incidents while the car is parked, that feature is a tangible safety net. However, the parking mode does have a practical limitation. It relies on the vehicle's power being available through the hardwire kit that feeds the cam from the fuse box. If you're only using the simple cigarette lighter plug, the cam will shut down when the engine is off, and you'll lose that buffered protection. Installing the hardwire kit isn't terribly difficult, but it does add a little extra work and may deter someone who just wants a plug-and-play solution. So, if you're looking for a completely hands-off system, you'll need to consider that extra step. The user interface is built around a tiny 1.54-inch IPS screen that shows what the camera sees and lets you scroll through menus. Because the screen is small, the menu navigation can feel a bit cramped, especially if you have larger fingers. The system does use voice control for basic commands like start recording or stop recording, which is handy when you're pulling over and don't want to fumble with the screen. In practice, I found the voice recognition works best when you speak clearly and the car is relatively quiet. City traffic or a loud engine can cause it to miss the command. It's not a deal breaker, but it's something to be aware of if you expect to operate the cam hands-free all the time. Battery confidence is a common worry for dash cam buyers because many models use a lithium-ion.